My name is Mark Barry, and I've uploaded a book of poems to Amazon's Kindle system. The details about acquiring it, buying it as a download are in the descriptions beneath this. The book is called My Broken Heart, 75 Days in the NHS, and it chronicles in 75 different poems an experience I don't recommend that you emulate. I was inside for such a long period of time because I was awaiting open heart surgery. I had right-sided artery complications which had to heal before the surgeons would undergo such a dangerous operation. I mention the 75 days because most men who enter the cardiac ward or go into a British hospital for surgery, either stents or full open heart, will probably be in there for a maximum of 5 to maybe 7 days, even for something as staggeringly brutal as open heart surgery, and it truly is. I'm a full year recovering from the wounds of it, both to the chest and the legs. I was in there for 75 days, so as you can imagine, you see a huge array of people, and not just the staff, but of course the patients themselves. In London, and I was in Whipps Cross Hospital in Leytonstone in London and St. Bart's in the City of London. It's a vast metropolis and there's a huge amount of cultures, but I'm 55 years of age, was born in 1958, so the vast majority of men on the cardiac ward would be between the ages of, say, 55 up to as high as 85. I believe the oldest man was 93 that they operated on, walked out of there after 3 days, sheer will to live. The point being that if they're between the ages of, say, 55 to 75, they were born prior to 58, most of them in the war years. So these are old school British gentlemen, and they are in some cases eccentric to say the least. They can be incredibly funny at times and incredibly brutal at times because they've gone through so much and seen it all. They're also at a stage in their life where frankly they couldn't give a monkeys anymore. The British are as eccentric as you expect them to be. They're quite mad, and the other half are even worse. They're not as bad as the Irish, but they're getting close to it. When I was in there, I met with a lot of elderly men who couldn't wait to talk to you even though they didn't know you for Adam. They would worry about the most nonsensical things, exotic birds, the consistency of the gravy, football, the cost of mobile phones, all of this sort of stuff. And I wanted to try to capture all of that, all of those characters, and that genuine warmth that people have towards the British for it. So I wrote this piece. It's number 38 of 75. It's simply called The British, and I hope you enjoy it. I've always liked to think of the great British public as slightly bonkers and dottily grand. They aired the loony Monty Python's Flying Circus and the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. And as they face their ticker's unseemly Dunkirk, they ruminate on city congestion zones, on Morecambe and Wise and Manchester United, and the exorbitant price of mobile phones. They smoke 40 fags a day and drink too much, and when diagnosed they're always shocked. Then wolf down 2 packets of orange Jaffa cakes to clog up arteries they've already blocked. Even the nurses who rush around the cardiac ward huff and puff because they're so overweight. Yet the medical irony seems completely lost on them, chomping down chocolate at an alarming rate. The British form orderly queues at the dinner trolley and moan loudly about the weather outside. They like to check the consistency of the Bisto gravy, while desserts can take several years to decide. Brits fume at the waste of the National Health Service, claiming they never seem to get it right. Then they go out and get completely fucking legless and clutter up the A&E department at night. But they're insulted if you whine about their England, and equally mortified should you praise. And for God's sake don't slag off their elderly queen, lest your head and neck see better days. But I wouldn't have the British people any other way, mad as a gummy budgie on a tab of LSD, burdened with artistic genius and floral deck chairs, still storming the beaches of Normandy. Thank you.